Hey team, what is going on? Joking here, but I'm serious. Welcome once again to Hitchhiker's Guide to Tyria, where I'm going to try to elaborate a little more about the world of Guild Wars 2. I just want to remind you all I make a new video every Saturday, so make sure to click the subscribe button and ring that bell for a gentle nudge every time the new video is released. I also Twitch stream every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, so be sure to check the description below for links to Twitch and my various other social medias down below. Now, where were we? Oh yeah, we just finished our introduction mission, which I did not want to spoil anything for you guys, and we're now into the world of Tyria at the starting map of the subsequent race that you selected. So, there's something I do want to give you as a quick tip, which I've already, as you can see, altered the game's appearance slightly, and that is because I want you to know Guild Wars 2 is a game all about aesthetics and collecting things that make us look cooler and cooler as we play. So one of the best things about it is getting to take screenshots and share with our social media and various friends over Discord and Instagram and Facebook, all sorts of things. So my hot tip of the day is hide the UI when taking your screenshot. And that is a very simple hotkey that you can set up. Mine is set to Control, Shift, and H. Alright. So let's get straight to it. Go ahead and say hello, Yusufine. What is up? Alright, so now I'm just gonna very briefly, with this episode, go over the interface panels that are available on the open world exploration screen, as we see here. Alright, so without further ado, let's dive straight into this here. The bottom left, we're gonna go counterclockwise. The bottom left here, that is hiding behind my face, will be the chat interface, and it's very simple. You hit enter to activate and type away, and then enter again to send your message out into the say world, such as this. Okay, there is more functions, but I want to keep our videos short, so for each part of this video, expect a more elaborate video to come, and feel free to leave a comment below on what you feel I should touch on or elaborate on further in the comments, and that way I can prioritize what more people want to see about in the future videos. So we got our chat covered, which is behind my face here. To the right of that is the skill bar, and on the skill bar is all the skills that you will eventually unlock. In the middle is your health points, which as you take damage will deplete and you will end up in a down state, which you can fight while downed until you completely run dry on health, and then you will faint or die, and then you can respawn from that point. Above that is the stamina bar, which you should have 2 dodges. Mine is set to the hotkey of V. I'm not sure if that's default. I've worked on my hotkeys quite a bit, which you can do and I can discuss in a future video. Alright, Now we go over to the right, which is our mini-map. I think it's one of the most important parts of the game, especially in all game modes. It happens to be there. It's very useful. It shows things such as waypoints and heart quests. So I'll just quickly give you a little bit on how to use. I don't think an extra video will need to be made on mini maps because it's a quick description here. So on the top left of the mini map, you can adjust the size of it, and then now to the bottom right, when you click this little button or hover over it, it'll show you our hotkey set to it, and also if you click it, it'll open the entire world map. As you can see, we're this tiny little speck in this entire big world of Tyria. So that is that, and then we have our toggle rotation. So if we toggle rotation, as we rotate our camera, the mini-map will rotate with our character. Personally, I just like to keep it north facing, and that's a preference thing. Beyond that, we have our Path to Story button, which can be helpful for finding the next steps of the story. In this current situation, the part of the story is to just complete a couple hearts on the map, so that will most likely be the next video, is how to maneuver around the world, and then we can work our way through that. And up here is the zoom in and zoom out on the minimap, and that's all there is to the minimap. Alrighty, now just above the minimap we have a little floating chest, which every day the daily resets. But not just that, anything that the game wants us to open or acquire, or we have opened or acquired, will appear here and show us new things that have been added or will be added to our inventory. For you guys, it'll be the level up reward there, and possibly the daily. So as you see here, login reward, I'm just gonna save that for later and open it on a different character. And so eventually you'll get to figure out what is account wide and what is character wide for each thing. Now, just above that is our missions. Alright, so all these missions and updates end up here, and they kind of guide us as to what kind of things we might want to do throughout the world. Typically, I ignore depending on what I'm doing. So normally my dailies I complete in player versus player, and they just end up getting done as I just play. So same with like open world stuff. They typically, like, just playing the game will make your dailies just get completed. This here in orange is the current World Festival going on, which this is just for this month. It is the Super Adventure Festival, which is a mini game. It's really nifty. I may put a link or something in the description so you guys can check it out. Hopefully you get it before the end of the season, which I think is April-May season. And then above that, there's a little arrow that rotates around a heart there. That image will change, but basically that's going to point you in the direction of the nearest map completion node. So if we want to go towards that heart, we will run in that direction, and I'll just show you how it interacts by running there. See, we've gotten in the area of the heart. It's updated with a variety of things we can do to fill up the hearts bar, and that will just give us rewards for completing. So now we have more to discuss. On the top left here are a bunch of little icons. Now, these are probably very complicated, and I may end up doing a separate video for each one. So I'll just very briefly discuss each one and open them so you can see generally what they are. And I recommend that you go ahead and open each one and just mess around, poke around, and see what you think about each thing. Alright, so Black Lion Trading Company. There's some things that I want to say before particularly describing the Black Lion Trading Company. I just want to mention that each of these windows or tabs or interfaces will open, and they typically have a similar layout. They always have the X on the top right, which will close it. They will typically show you the hotkey to open and close it as well, and then they'll be titled or labeled. And then on the left will always be the tabs within the that particular interface. So the Black Lion Trading Company. First we have the gem store, which is specific to the cash shop. Things you can buy using real world money. Buying gems becomes that currency, and then you can buy things. It's usually just aesthetics, but can also be some quality of life things. Again, it's not necessary, but I do encourage some spending here, as it does it keeps ArenaNet going and supports these servers, so we can all continue to play. The tab below that is the currency exchange, which, as you see here, you don't necessarily need money or to spend your hard-earned real world money on gems. You can earn gold in the game and then buy gems using the gold, and vice versa. You can buy gems using cash and then convert that into gold as well. So it's literally up to you how you want to convert, and enjoy the game that way, or through various aesthetics of the gem store. Yeah, I'm awkward. I'll move on. And then just below that is the trading post. Now, the trading post is very similar to any other MMO's auction house, but basically you can sell things that you find throughout the world that are not account or soul bound, and put them up for sale, and other players will get to buy them off you. I can go into further detail about this particular function. If you guys would like to see that sooner than later, definitely comment below. Alright, and to the left of the Black Lion Trading Company is our PvP tab. For me, it's my most enjoyed game mode in Guild Wars 2. There is quite a bit to discuss about this, and I do plan on making this video about PvP very soon, but with a brief explanation, we'll just go over it. So playing ranked unlocks right after the starting story, so you can just queue up right away. When you click play unranked, you will end up being boosted to level 80 just for that fight, and you'll have all your skills unlocked, which could give you a glimpse into what your class may feel like later on in the game. This will be grayed out for you if you're new. If not, basically competing will increase your skill rating and provide advanced rewards for playing player versus player. And also there is a player versus player lobby, which is a separate map in the world where There is also vendors and bank and Black Lion trading post, all sorts of things. And a quick tip for you is you can actually enter the lobby from anywhere in the world, and if you click this button again once you're already in the lobby, it'll take you right back from where you entered. So if you're, let's say you're in the middle of an adventure and you don't want to run all the way back to a main city or a merchant to empty your inventory or sell to a vendor, then just go to the PvP lobby. It's quite handy. And as we go down on the tabs, I'll mention what they are, but again, we'll do a further video for you guys in the near future. So League is what your description of your competitive games have brought you towards, and additional rewards. Tournaments are auto tournaments that are operated by the game, and you require a full party of 5 to participate in 4 games, 3 to 4 games or more, and you also get rewarded for that. And you can gain more qualifying points towards playing in the monthly tournament. Reward tracks. Reward tracks make PvP a great way to gain loot from various parts of the game without playing those parts of the game. So for instance, right now there is the Super Adventure Box event going on, so for a limited time this reward track is open and I can simply PvP to gain some of the loot from this game mode. Mist champions are unlockable through playing more PvP, and you can even unlock their upgraded skins, and they are just for a game mode called Strongholds. And finally, near the bottom, this is our game browser of custom maps. Nothing in here, or some of the things in here provide progression towards dailies, but usually I hop in here for practicing different builds, classes, and messing around. I did also want to mention one last thing about player versus player. As a new player, I highly recommend that you fill up your character slots and classes right away and put them all in the PvP lobby, and really just start to mess around with each class's skill bars and traits and talents, and that'll give you a feel for like what your favorite classes are and what you might like to really progress with in the game. So it's definitely a useful thing because it puts you at that level 80 without spoiling the game for you, if you like to, you know, complete from scratch without any story spoilers or level boosts, if you will. Alright, next I'm gonna explain a lot less about this, as I don't know too much about this. I do know I enjoy it, but basically World vs. World is a different form of player vs. player. It's more like a blend of player vs. player and player vs. environment, where you enter a large battleground and you take control over camps, towers, fortresses, and keeps, and you upgrade them and defend them, and you also fight other players in doing so, and you earn points towards your server, and that server is in an everlasting competition with the other servers. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but in the very first video I made a brief explanation of how to select your server when you're first creating your account. That is the only thing that the server or world is tied to, is this particular game mode. And there is also reward tracks, and instead of achieving player levels, you are bumped up to level 80 again, and you start to earn World vs. World rank, which will level up various aspects of World vs. World, such as using siege equipment, defeating and guarding against NPC things, repairing structures, carrying supply, War Claw, which is the World vs. World mount, so several things like that. So if you want to check that out, just click the World vs. World button at the top left and enter one of the battlegrounds. I believe on a free account you must be level 60. I'm not too sure if it's the same on a paid account, but definitely try it out. And I mean, you won't be missing too much, and it definitely takes a bit more understanding. So if you're a newer player, do a little more of the world completion and try out some of the classes in player versus player, and then eventually work your way towards World vs. World. Just a recommendation. Again, always do what you want. Alright, and then the guild panel. Well, it's a very important part of the game. It's even part of the name of the game. So, just want to quickly mention that you can join guilds. You can be in up to 5 guilds, and in that guild you will see a list of the roster, and it might be an easier way to find a party within the game if you're part of a guild, and it's another great way to get help as a newer player as well. So don't be shy, join a guild. You can have up to 5, and if anything and you don't like the guild, you can always leave the guilds too. I'm gonna leave my username in the description below. Feel free to send me in-game mail and I can invite you to a couple of the guilds I have. So the Yamato Quaggan family is a player versus everything guild, so we typically do all aspects of the game. And Joking Media is a specifically player versus player guild, so if you're interested in that, again, hit me up in the description below and just send me some in-game mail, and I would definitely love to have you as part of my guild, which is a new guild, by the way. We're only 56 members strong, but we're all quite active, and we love to joke around and play PvP. Alright. Beyond that, you have your mail panel. Your mail panel is where you can basically use in-game email, put in the account name, subject, message, and you can even send gold and in-game message or in-game items. Alright. Inventory bags. So not too much to say here. This is where the various items that drop off monsters you kill, and also where your currency is stored. I did want to mention that currency is account wide, so be sure to keep an eye on your current currency and see where you can spend it to enhance your character's aesthetics, but also strength throughout the game. Also on the left here, instead of the window tabs, these are the bags that you have equipped, and as you equip more bags, your inventory will expand. Also on the top right here are a few very handy options, so be sure to utilize these and check them out. And also just about everything in your inventory can be right-clicked for additional options, so be sure to check that out as well. Hero panel. This is quite elaborate, and a lot of it is grayed out as a new character. I'm not going to go too far into this, but I do want to praise ArenaNet for a moment and talk about some things. So first of all, equipment. Such as many RPGs, you can change the equipment that you have on your character, which will affect stats, However, in player versus player, all stats are balanced and your stats won't be applied. They will, however, instead look like this. And you'll have access to every stat combo and rune and sigil of each weapon. So just note that in player versus player, basically everything is unlocked. And in player versus environment and world versus world, you do use actual equipment with stats. But now onto the praising arena net. So we're playing Guild Wars 2, right? Yes, but we're also playing Guild Wardrobes 2, or also known as Fashion Wars 2. The reason that this game has definitely attracted many eyes in the world of MMORPGs. So I'll just give you a very quick look into what that means. So in the top tab of the hero panel, we have equipment, and as you saw, I clicked on equipment to see the gear equipped, but we have wardrobe. And as you play the game, you unlock something called transmutation charges, and those transmutation charges can allow you to change the appearance of the items, and these appearances are account-wide unlocks. So from playing my light-wearing necromancer, I've salvaged many items, and when you salvage the item, it unlocks the skin. So as you see here, we are able to customize the appearance of each equipped item onwards. So very great in that part. And also I do want to mention there is the dyes category, which is very similar to the wardrobe, except dyeing items never costs transmutation charges. So always give yourself that fresh look, that fresh feel, and dye your armor whatever color you want. It's super fun, and I mean, why wouldn't you? So for enhancing or accelerating the rate in which I make that video, definitely leave a comment and tell me that you want to see more about the hero panel, and I'll try to make that video next if that is what is desired. I try to keep up with the comments throughout the week, so keep in touch. And we have our contacts and looking for a group. So whenever we meet someone in the world, such as this person here, we can right click their name and add their friend. Hello Coruscita, you're cool. I'm gonna say hello. So we talk, and then we do a quest or something, and we become friends. We can make a party, we can send her in-game mail, and several other things. And one of those things is to add her as a friend, and that will put her on our followed friends list. Below that is a looking for group panel. Just note that this will fill out and more options will be available as you level up through the world, but this is a great way to find parties to complete more things in the world. And then our followers. So I just want you to know that when you add a friend, it does not send them a request. It just automatically adds them to your list. If someone friends you, they end up in your followers list. And this is where you can go and add the friend back, so you can see them in your friends list. Alright. Next is the game menu, which you can also open up by hitting escape, but I definitely recommend going to options and making sure that your general settings are how you like them, your graphic settings are optimized to your computer so that you get a smooth gaming experience, again with sounds and of course hotkeys, which I would like to make a video just about hotkeys, so definitely if that's something you guys want to see sooner than later, leave a comment in the comments below. And finally, we arrive at the party tab, where we can invite and join parties and create a squad which can have up to 10 members, and if you've done your masteries you can even become a mentor, and that gives the other characters in the world a chance to see your little information apple and then eventually follow you around. See, instantly right when I did it, someone showed up and took a look at us, so I'll remove that. And once again, thank you all for coming and checking out Hitchhiker's Guide to Tyria. I hope this was somewhat useful, and I hope to make more videos. I do plan on sticking with the schedule, so I'll see you guys next Saturday. Be sure to check out my Twitch channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Links to that and the social medias in the description below, and hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to know when my next video is released. Thank you all for swinging by. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you. You're all pretty BA and awesome. Check you next time.